Hello, Fort Smith Public Schools. Just want to give you a video recap of last night's board meeting on July 20th, 2026, and I always encourage you to go back and watch the entire board meeting as well. We started with celebrations and celebrated Dr. Dawn Childress. She's been named a Master Principal Designee in the state of Arkansas, a very huge honor for her and the district, and we are very proud of her. We also talked about, in the superintendent's report, we talked about the renaming of the Service Center to Dr. Benny L. Gooden Service Center. We'll have a ceremony on August 16th at 5 p.m. at the Benny L. Gooden Service Center. You're welcome to attend. Good things. We talked about the Pie Luncheon back in June, which was a great success, where all of our partners in education came to be recognized for their valuable partnership in the development of our students and our staff and all the ways they support our district. We're very proud of them and thank them. We talked about our new student worker program. We've had some students apply for positions in the district, whether at maintenance or some technology, and they've done a phenomenal job this summer. And we've started that this summer and intend to continue this program. We also celebrated Morrison, who had a summer reading program partnership with the Fort Smith Library during lunch, and they had some really neat themes just to encourage kids to read and to incentivize reading. And of course, we wanted to again recognize the Jalen Williams Court. The city of Fort Smith named that street next to Northside High School after Jalen Williams, a former Grizzly and also a member of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Very proud of that young man and how he represents our great city and our great district. We had some action items the board approved last night. They began with approving the second lien bond of a little over $15 million. That funding will go toward capital improvements and maintenance of facilities. A lot of needed maintenance is required. We also gave a construction update on all the roof repairs that are going on across the district, which there are many, as well as the drainage corrections that are being taken place here at Peak. We also talked about noise mitigation project, as well as a new project at Southside High School that was discovered this summer in the 1960s roof deck. You may have remembered last year we had a roof deck failure near the orchestra room. We had to close that part of the building down to make those repairs. We had a architect and also a structural engineer go ahead and look at all the other 1960s roofing deck in the building, and they discovered there's some corrosion and some rust in the roof deck over the cafeteria as well as the serving area. And out of caution for our students and staff, we will close that area down and have an alternative method for feeding our students this school year, which will include one of our south gym and also one of our storm shelters for serving areas and spaces. We apologize about the inconvenience, but certainly want to be very cautious with that roof deck. We also talked about the football field naming rights, a proposal put together by our activities and athletics departments around allowing sponsorships to purchase naming rights to both football fields or one football field, and the board approved us to move forward with negotiating those agreements. We talked about a new special education ALE and SLP incentive fund. You might remember last year we piloted it with ALE and special ed, some incentive money, and this year we've expanded the roles of some of those definitions of some of those people that will be available to access that incentive money, and we also included SLPs. I'd encourage you to go back and look at that. And we had time to celebrate our ACT and AP data, and I'm proud of the great teaching that goes on, the great work our students and the sacrifices they make to do phenomenal jobs on those assessments. We also talked about the third grade retention. We had 12 students that were retained with the new regulations around retention at the third grade level this year, and talked about the process that went into that decision making. And then finally we ended with a presentation on my 26-27 performance goals. The board approved my goals. The first one was always focusing on the right standard, right time, right rigor, as well as a second goal around developing and creating Fort Smith Public Schools Activities and Athletics Foundation. And then a third goal of developing a partnership with our parents at every school site, with a Parents Advisory Council at every school site by the end of the year. And then finally, we want to expand on the great work of some of our secondary schools with ambassador programs and replicate that across all secondary schools with an ambassador program at each building where our students are learning mentorship and being ambassadors for their school and flying the banner for their school and for their district. Had a very good meeting. Again, as you see our 7 members of the board out and about, please thank them for their commitment to our district and their guidance and the way that they operate our district so well. Thank you, and I hope you have a great evening.